You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, caregiving for a loved one with dementia can be emotionally and physically draining, but help is available. We'll show you where to find it.
Also, Southwest Missouri authorities bring charges against a woman in a fatal DWI crash from Christmas Eve.
And take a look at this sunrise. We got the clouds increasing but leading to a beautiful looking start to the day. Nice temperatures and some shower chances. A look at that forecast to get you out the door coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Snowy.
I'm Chris Warner, just after 7 o'clock on this Wednesday, February the 26th.
Yes.
Happy Wednesday, halfway through the week and halfway through the final week of February. It ends on Friday.
What a great week it's been.
And it certainly has been across the area. And we'll talk more about that here in just a couple of minutes.
Yes. Well, the Kansans who are caregivers of a loved one with Alzheimer's or related dementia will now have access to more support thanks to a new program.
KOAM's Melissa Alexis has more on how this program can help.
Working with caregivers, you see the burnout happen so quickly.
Caregiving for a loved one with Alzheimer's or related dementia can be demanding.
Dementias, it's a hard, long battle a lot of times, and there's a lot of grief that goes along with caring for someone with dementia.
The Kansas Department for Aging and Disability Services launched a program to help support caregivers of someone with Alzheimer's or related dementia.
In the form of someone coming and staying in the home with their loved one for a time, or it could be help with homemaker services or attendant care services, which would be bathing and dressing, light housework, those types of things. It can also be that the person may go to a facility for a short stay.
According to the Kansas Department for Aging and Disability Services, 55,000 people over the age of 65 are living with Alzheimer's disease or related dementia in Kansas, and it's estimated that the number will increase by 12.7% in 2025. Stacy Dickerhoof, the Associate Director of the SEK Area Agency on Aging, says this program is a huge need.
Maybe supplies that are needed that can get expensive. I mean, it's just, I think what I hear about more than the financial, though, is the emotional side of it. It's just such a hard process to deal with.
And caregivers that are interested in this program can reach out to the SEK Area Agency on Aging to find out more about getting connected to this resource.
Our coordinator of that, and she would then send you a packet with the information you need to fill out to get enrolled with the program. It's a fairly easy process. We can help people in where to send them and how to get them the information they need. We have a lot of information. We can give people resources that they may not be aware of.
Through the program, respite care costs of up to $1,000 can be covered. Reporting in Pittsburgh, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Well, to be eligible, the caregiver must live in the same home as the care recipient, but an exception can be requested through the Kansas Department for Aging and Disability Services.
It's certainly an important program. I know other states have similar programs where, you can be paid as a family member to be a caregiver. And like Kansas, there's different requirements, different things, but certainly something you should look into. You can help look after some of your loved ones out there.
Really helps.
Well, and today, a great day for those who want to get out for a little bit, maybe take a walk. No, it's not. Yesterday was. Today's not bad. It's going to rain. That's what I mean. Today's a great day, though, to open the window. We haven't smelled that, that smell of rain.
Yes. Oh,
how nice that is today. We're probably going to get some of that. Quick look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Clouds increasing, but looking like a beautiful sunrise. We had some really neat colors out there just not long ago. MoDOT camera, 20th and Rangeline and Joplin, not getting nearly as much sunshine because, again, the clouds continuing to increase across the area. We do have showers out there. Now, not all, and see, look, some of this is even falling apart. Not all of this is necessarily reaching the ground. The better opportunities where it's actually reaching the ground are going to be up here on Garnett, and then this little line stretching from Wichita back up just to the southwest of Overland Park. So that's where we've got the rain. Again, these showers, not everybody will see rain today. And some of it, like what we've been looking at here, some of this rain on radar may not actually be reaching the ground, but it'll still smell like rain, and it'll certainly look, it just kind of makes you feel like spring, you know? Again, isolated to widely scattered showers, otherwise mostly cloudy skies today. Temperatures a little cooler than where they've been the last couple of days, but still technically above normal. And we'll eventually start doing some clearing overnight tonight. So here's the actual boundary itself. Ahead of it, we have those southerly winds. Behind it, we have northerly winds, but not having a major impact on our temperatures. Been kind of hovering, most of us, into the upper 40s and low 50s. Our highs today, upper 50s into the low 60s. Those showers should come to an end by 3, 4 o'clock at the latest. And we'll still hold on to cloudy skies for a bit before we begin to clear out overnight tonight. We're going to have sunshine and wind the next couple of days and more rain next week. Details on all of that in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, a Grove, Oklahoma woman is behind bars facing charges in southwest Missouri for a fatal DWI crash on Christmas Eve. Now, earlier this month, the Jasper County Prosecutor's Office filed charges against Jennifer Malpin, including felony DWI, causing the death of another, and careless and imprudent driving. Now, Malpin is also faces outstanding charges in Oklahoma. The latest charges occurred on Missouri 59, just south of Carthage, which took the life of a Sarcoxy man. Malpin was also injured in the crash. Now she was initially arrested and then released to seek medical care. Once prosecutors filed official charges, a judge issued a warrant for Malpin's arrest. Malpin was located in Marionville, Missouri, and booked into the Lawrence County Jail on Monday night. Well, McDonald County prosecutors amend charges against a former high school custodian after a camera was found in the girls' locker room. After analyzing all of the evidence from the scene and the defendant, Roger Copeland's home, prosecutors amended charges from felony sexual exploitation of a minor, felony possession of child pornography, and 1 count of felony invasion of privacy to 5 counts of Class E felony invasion of privacy. Investigators found no evidence of full nudity on the videos. Investigators also say the videos have not been transferred to any other device or posted to the internet. Now, if found guilty, Copeland could spend time in a state prison. He would also have to register as a sex offender. And authorities arrest an Independence, Kansas man in connection to a shooting incident from July of 2024. Charles Riley Defabaugh III was taken into custody yesterday after a warrant issued in August 2024 was returned. According to court documents, Defabaugh allegedly fired a gun at a man with intent to kill, wounding the victim. He also reportedly shot an occupied vehicle. Defabaugh now faces multiple charges, including attempted first-degree murder. The Montgomery County Attorney's Office sealed the case upon filing formal charges on August 19, 2024, keeping it closed until Defabaugh's arrest. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. The 14th Amendment's citizenship clause under scrutiny on Capitol Hill. House members holding a hearing to examine its meaning as federal courts continue fighting President Trump's executive order on birthright citizenship. Fox News senior national correspondent Rich Edson has more from Washington.
Overturning birthright citizenship would hurt our nation.
A House committee is examining the citizenship clause of the 14th Amendment, following President Trump's recent executive order trying to end U.S. citizenship for the children of undocumented immigrants.
The Supreme Court has never held that children of illegal aliens or aliens who are in the United States temporarily are entitled to birthright citizenship.
Any attempt to radically reinterpret the citizenship clause serves only to further the goal of right-wing extremists to unconstitutionally limit who can have a political voice in this country.
Immigration and law experts debated the consequences.
To eliminate birthright citizenship would be to create a permanent underclass, a caste system, which was the very result the Reconstruction Congress intended to end.
The clause is part of the 14th Amendment, added to the Constitution in 1868 following the Civil War. It says all persons born in the United States and subject to its jurisdiction are U.S. citizens.
The benefits of having a child with U.S. citizenship is that child can later sponsor you for lawful permanent residence. And the implications of that from a national security or criminal perspective are enormous.
The hearing comes as a new Pew Research poll finds 56% of U.S. adults disapprove of Trump's executive order on birthright citizenship, an order that's already been blocked by several federal judges. The president's order on citizenship is expected to make its way to the Supreme Court. In Washington, Rich Edson, Fox News.
And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, we'll see how an egg incubator can help connect the classroom to real-world experience. And later, we'll see how a group of inner-city Los Angeles kids are changing the face of classical music. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Welcome back. Well, activities can be a great tool to help connect classroom lessons to real-world applications. We have a David Rolling from the Kansas State Research and Extension Office with us this morning to share how incubator kits are a great way to help make that connection. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. So talk to me a little bit about what incubator kits are and how they're really helpful in the classroom.
Yeah, we have 6 incubator kits available for teachers to check out, or I am happy to come to the classroom, set up the incubator, and give a short lesson on incubating eggs. So in our incubator kit, we of course have the incubator here. This incubator is really cool because of course the kids can see the chicks hatch.
Sure, yes.
And it's also programmable, so it will control the temperature, it will automatically turn the eggs, so teachers don't have to come in over the weekends to turn those eggs. And also in the kit are chick life cycle eggs, so especially for the younger grades, they really like these. They can see how the chicks are growing inside of the egg each day. There's also an egg candler, so about a week to 10 days after I set up the incubator, I can come back and candle the eggs to get an idea of how many chicks will hatch, which students are always super excited about. And then we have everything to care for the chicks after they hatch in that kit as well. So if you want them to hang out in the classroom for a few days so the kids can experience baby chicks, they can definitely do that.
Absolutely. And how have you really seen this be beneficial to young students who are learning through this incubator?
This has been a great way to introduce students to agriculture, teaching them, of course, about chickens specifically, but they can experience chicks hatching in their classrooms, which is an experience a lot of students wouldn't be able to get. And with the chicks living in the classroom for a few days afterwards, they also learn about how to care for chickens and just the necessities of caring for an animal in general.
Sure. And if teachers want to get one of these incubator kits or they want to find out more about the Kansas State Research and Extension Office, where can they do so?
They can call any one of our offices. The number for the Independence office, which is my home office, is 620-331-2690.
Well, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being with us this morning. We'll, of course, have more information on this later on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:18. On this Wednesday morning, live look downtown Pittsburgh. Again, clouds increasing out there, so it's starting to block that sunrise. We've got showers starting to work into the area. MoDOT camera 20th in range line. Looking back to the north, it's starting to get a little cloudy in the Joplin area as well. Again, as these showers continue to spread through. So here's a look at them. Again, not all of this is necessarily reaching the ground. I believe, where we've got these darker greens, that's where we're actually looking at rain. So here around Chanute, you might be getting some light sprinkles. Some of this may not even be, noticeable to you. You probably smell the rain, just not seeing it just yet. But where we are really seeing the rain, at least in our immediate area, be around Burlington, where you got some of these darker greens. We've actually got some rain falling. Then we'll take this back off to the east around Mound City. We have some heavier, well, not heavy, but we have actual rain falling here. So that's 69 as you head north of Fort Scott. So these showers, again, will be isolated to widely scattered, but we'll continue to see them across the area as we go through the day. So not necessarily everybody will see rain, but some of us will. All of us, though, will see the mostly cloudy skies. So there's the future track by noon. Again, just a few of these isolated showers out there, really not much else. And I think by 4 o'clock at the latest, really, our rain chances are pretty well done across the region. We'll just hold on to the clouds. Now, the clouds, as you know, work as a thermal blanket. Now, that happens any time of year, but it's more noticeable in the wintertime because if it's somewhat decent during the day, it keeps a little milder overnight. However, we're going to lose the clouds tonight. So these above normal temperatures will kind of flutter away a little bit for us, and then we'll go into Thursday morning, and now what we're going to have is temperatures colder, but seasonably colder. We're going to be starting our Thursday into the 30s, and as we head through the rest of the afternoon, we'll start to be a little warmer, a little more sunshine. We'll also have gusty northwest winds. We'll go upper 50s and low 60s, and that'll continue to be the trend through Thursday afternoon. Now, overnight, Thursday into Friday, even though my wind arrows, for reasons I don't know, have stopped moving, they will shift overnight into Friday out of the southwest. It's still going to be breezy on Friday as well, but those southwest winds will bring in warmer temperatures than what we'll see today and tomorrow. So the Friday, we're looking at temperatures a little closer to what we saw yesterday and Monday, some upper 60s and low 70s. Here's where that boundary is right now. Behind it, north winds. Ahead of it, south winds. And again, not a significant impact on temperatures, which is good because we don't need it to be cold again. Most of us, upper 40s and low 50s, so a fairly mild start to the day. Again, mostly cloudy. Few showers here and there. Not everybody getting rain, some sprinkles too. Low 50s to start, about 60 by 11 a.m. Our highs today, upper 50s, low 60s. Rain should be done, or rain chances are done by about 4 o'clock. North winds 5 to 10. Tonight, again, initially temperatures slow to fall because of the clouds. Once they clear out, get a little colder back into the 30s. Upper 50s, low 60s tomorrow. Upper 60s, low 70s Friday. A little cooler into the weekend. Watching those rain chances as we head into next week. And again, still that slight hint of maybe a strong storm Monday into Tuesday. Not anything we're overly concerned about, but of course we'll keep an eye on it for you. That's Check Your Forecast. We'll be back with more right after this. A group of musicians is working to change the look of classical music. Less than 5% of American orchestras are made up of Black or Latino members.
Danya Bacchus introduces us to the youth orchestra, putting diversity in the spotlight.
It's a familiar sound, but a rare sight. An orchestra concert at the California African American Museum, with young Black and Latino musicians taking center stage.
We're somewhere between 100 and 125 strong.
Charles Dickerson is the director and conductor of the Inner City Youth Orchestra of Los Angeles.
Do you ever encounter people who are amazed at what you're doing just because of who you have doing it?
There are approximately 400 youth orchestras in the United States. Approximately 1,700 orchestras total in the United States. As far as I know, we are just about the only primarily African American and Latino youth orchestra in the country.
Since 2009, the nonprofit has worked to knock down barriers keeping minorities from the music. Iceola has played on one of music's biggest stages, the Walt Disney Concert Hall, and collaborated with pop band Imagine Dragons.
We offer opportunities for young people to play in our orchestra and to learn without cost. You walk in the door with us, you're part of the family. That's exactly who we are. It doesn't matter of your skill level, we will help you improve your skill level.
Juliana Lagunish joined when she was 12.
We can say that every culture is involved, and that's the beauty of it.
As concert mistress and first chair of the violin section, she says what she's learned is bigger than the music.
I feel like Iceola has given me the tools, that self-confidence is built through training, discipline, resilience, and through the support in the people around me.
People who are transforming classical music, one note and stroke at a time.
Dickerson hopes to help establish other orchestras like the Inner City Youth Orchestra of Los Angeles in other communities around the United States. Of course, classical music as a whole is very important. Diversifying it, even more important, because you got to get more people involved.
Absolutely. Well, coming up, community members in Carl Junction come together to discuss the future of their city.
And we've got clouds increasing, rain chances also out there. We'll have another look at your forecast when we come back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:29. I'm Elise Snowy. Well, community members joined together to discuss the future of Carl Junction. Dozens gathered at the Carl Junction Community Center to pitch ideas and learn more about possible plans for facilities in the city. Representatives from Staff Design Architects Algier Martin and Associates and city staff were on hand to collect comments. Now, some of the topics discussions include improvements to CJ's parks and trails, the Frank Dean Sports Complex, and water, sewer, and stormwater projects.
What's really amazing about Carl Junction, like tonight, was how many community members did come out. That's a real good measure of how much the community is involved and how much they want to really see betterment in their town.
Staff Design Architects have been working with the city since 2008 when they designed the Carl Junction Community Center. Well, young poets brought a strong voice to the Harry M. Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex in Joplin yesterday. High school competitors brought their best vocal presentation to the Poetry Out Loud Regionals, a national poetry competition designed to improve public speaking skills, help build confidence, and teach the kids about literacy, history, and contemporary life. Well, Bourbon County Emergency Services came together to support one of their own at a chili feed benefit during the Fort Scott High School basketball game. First responders were serving chili, Frito chili pie, hot dogs, and more. All proceeds help Sarah Long, a public safety dispatcher, and her 8-year-old son, Jareth, who is undergoing cancer treatment after surgery to remove a kidney. Now let's head over to Chris for a quick look at your forecasts.
Take a quick look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Again, clouds gradually increasing out there, and we do have some showers across the region as well. We're going to take a look at MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline in Joplin. Clouds gradually increasing here as well. And not everybody's going to see rain, but you can see we are starting to pick up some heavier showers in parts of Greenwood County out there. In fact, if I can get this sucker to do this for me, we will take a slightly closer look. We haven't had to use any of these little fancy tools here for quite some time. All right, there we go. Wow, it's working. Maybe it just needed the winter off. But we've got, look at these heavier showers. So around Janesville, Madison, and to the north and west of Eureka, we got heavier showers. No thunderstorms or anything like that, but some much needed rain. Some rain to help clear out your car as well. All of this associated with the boundary. The boundary itself setting up right about here, and then we have those showers building in behind it. Now they're going to be isolated to widely scattered. Not everybody necessarily will see rain, but at least we'll have some chances for it. Otherwise, have mostly cloudy skies and temperatures a bit cooler than what we saw yesterday. And we won't start doing any clearing until late this evening into the overnight hours. So here's where, again, the actual boundary is. No major impact on temperatures, which is also nice. We got a south breeze ahead of it, north winds behind it, and temperatures this morning very mild for this time of year. Upper 40s and low 50s. Highs today, not much warmer than that, though. Upper 50s, low 60s. I will have those isolated showers across the area as well. We have more rain chances as we head into next week. We also have some warmer weather again on the way. We'll look at all that here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Local parks across the 4 states are gearing up for another exciting fishing season. Now, we decided to get some advice from the Missouri Department of Conservation and Buds Bait in Joplin on what you need to know for a successful catch. KOAM's Lonnie Walton has the story.
Oh yeah, I've fished since I was a kid.
Dan Weaver is a fish lover from Missouri. He says he was introduced to fishing in Cassville. He says he's never seen anything like it.
There were so many people lining the banks, so I'd never seen fishing quite like that, but I still go down.
If Weaver wants to have a great time fishing, John Tupper, the manager of Bud's Bait in Joplin, says there's a few things he may need.
So those people are going to fish with ultralight, light spinning reels, spinning rod combinations. We'll even have a few people that fly fish, and so we have all the fly fishing stuff also.
Francis Skaleski from the Department of Conservation says you have to know where you can fish when you get there.
When you're buying your trout tag at the park store, if you're unfamiliar with what the zone boundaries are at the park, tell them what type of lure you're going to use, and they can tell you what zone you're going to fish in.
He also says you should know your limits when it comes to certain animals.
Not just fish, whatever you catch, you keep. That's not the way fishing works in Missouri. With most species, there are minimum length limits.
And if you never fished before, no worries. Linsky says there's plenty of help to go around.
best way to learn is to go out with somebody who's done it before. And in this part of the state, you won't have to look far.
And for Weaver, he continues to love all the options in Missouri when it comes to fishing.
There's plenty of great places to fish in Missouri. Want to get au naturel and walk down the creek, you can do that too.
Reporting in Joplin, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. We'll take a deeper look at what's in store for you this tax season in the midst of the IRS layoffs and budget cuts. In Consumer Watch this morning, a temporary pay boost is coming for some people on Social Security. The Social Security Administration says it's sending out retroactive payments to former public workers who received limited benefits because of the windfall elimination provision and government pension offset. Now, the rules were rescinded last year by the Social Security Fairness Act. More than 3 million public service workers are expected to see a one-time benefit boost by the end of March. And dock workers approve a new contract. The International Longshoresmen Association says roughly 99% of its members voted to approve the U.S. Maritime Alliance's offer of a 6-year contract yesterday. Now, the new deal includes a 62% pay raise and protections from fully automated cranes at ports. The contract shuts down concerns of another strike after the union walked away from the ports for 3 days in October. And tax season is in full swing, and it's collided with headlines about IRS layoffs and cuts. Now, what does it mean for your return and your refund? Well, Karen Kafa is in Washington with what taxpayers need to know.
Last week, the IRS was expected to start layoffs of more than 6,000 employees as part of the Trump administration's broader cuts to the federal workforce at the agency's busiest time of year.
We know that when the IRS is understaffed, as it was in the 2010s, it makes refunds slower. It means they have a hard time answering their phones if you've got questions.
Vanessa Williamson, a senior fellow in governance studies at the Brookings Institution, says the cuts could impact important taxpayer resources.
There's some evidence that a lot of the cuts are going to come to people who help small business owners who have some of the most complicated taxes of anyone. So if you haven't filed, I recommend you file as soon as possible.
Tom O'Sabin, Director of Tax Content and Government Relations at the National Association of Tax Professionals, says amid leaner IRS staffing, taxpayers should try to limit the need for person-to-person contact with the agency.
What it means is if there's any possibility to electronically file your return, do so. Whether you're using a tax professional or you're filing or you're on your own, or you use the direct file system, which is relatively new at the IRS, try to submit your return electronically.
O'Sabin adds that careful preparation can also minimize omissions and errors that could take longer to correct. And no matter the headlines, he says, to complete that return.
In reading a lot of these social media posts and the like, there's been some talk about waiting to file or don't bother to file. I think that's a fool's recommendation.
In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
And those are our top consumer stories. Let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:42 on this Wednesday morning. To this side, no rain yet, and behind me, we've got some showers out there. Now, the boundary is just ahead of that, just southeast of Chanute, right around Fort Scott, northwest of Nevada, stretching right through here. But the showers themselves are off to the north and west of that boundary. We are getting some actual detectable rain along this portion, so stretching from Eureka toward Burlington and Garnett, and then say around Verdigris, you can see we've got rain on the radar, but not all of it necessarily reaching the ground. But what we're seeing in this band here, and where we've got the yellows, of course, we're actually seen some rain starting to reach out there, which is fantastic because it saves you a trip to the car wash, in all honesty. We do need some rain. We've got to wash off some of this stuff off the roads and off your car, and at least some of us will have that opportunity. Now, these showers will be isolated to widely scattered, so not everybody necessarily will see rain, but some of us will, and it will certainly be nice when it happens. Our temperatures today going to be a little cooler than where they've been the last couple of days, but still technically above normal. That's not technically. They are above normal. They will still be above normal, just not by as much as they were yesterday, because remember, yesterday some of us were almost 20 degrees above average. Now, we'll have the mostly cloudy skies for everybody through most of the day. Overnight, well, I got those skies clear. So here's what happens is because the skies will clear, we lose that blanket, we lose the warmer air. It's going to be colder as we start our Thursdays. You can see into the 30s, but it's seasonably colder. Been spoiled the last couple of days, but that's about where we're supposed to start our day. We go through Thursday, sunny skies, we'll have gusty northwest winds, and temperatures will be similar to today. We're going to go upper 50s, low 60s. As we go overnight Thursday into Friday, and again, I am not 100% certain why, but my wind arrows have frozen. But what happens Thursday night into Friday is the winds are going to shift out of the southwest. They're still going to be gusty, but southwest winds are going to bring in warmer air, and so we're going to be warmer on Friday. In fact, Friday's highs, we're looking to be a lot closer to what we were yesterday and Monday, upper 60s and low 70s, and another day of plentiful sunshine out there. Temperatures now, again, here's that boundary. So actually, I apologize. It's of course it moves, but it's moved a little farther. So now we're southeast of Nevada. We're south of Nevada, stretching right around Pittsburgh, Parsons, around Independence, back into Washington County. So there's the boundary, and then we've got the rain, the showers that are back behind that. We have north winds behind the boundary, south winds ahead of it, and as you can see, no major impact on temperatures across here, which is nice. This boundary is not going to have that kind of an impact, but we're all sitting upper 40s and low 50s, so not a bad way to start the day. There's those clouds off in the distance in Joplin. Those will, of course, continue to increase. Low 50s to start, about 60 by 11 o'clock this morning. Again, mild today, mild tomorrow, warmer on Friday. A little cooler this weekend. In fact, Sunday and Monday, we look to be a little below normal. Not by much, but a little. But those are the only 2 days that we're looking to be below normal, at least for a while, on highs. We got those showers, maybe some thunderstorms Monday into Tuesday. Again, something we're going to keep a close eye on. Not overly concerned, still somewhat early in the severe weather season, but something we'll monitor. Otherwise, much needed rain and pretty pleasant temperatures heading into March. That's check your forecast. We're going to be back with more after this.
Well, it can be hard to find time to spend with family.
But one grandfather and grandson have bonded on the basketball court by refereeing games together.
As the Freezy Hornets and Wadena Deer Creek Wolverines warmed up, the referees down the hall laced up. Longtime partners John Clinard, 77, and Chuck Everett, who turns 80, got ready for another game.
But this is my fourth game this week.
So did the new kid, 18-year-old Andrew Clinard, now officiating with his grandpa John.
You like it? Yep, you like it. Throw it up in the air. Yep, that's good.
This is John's 48th year officiating, and Chuck started back in 1976. The two know every shortcut in the region.
I counted up the most we ever reffed together was 20 tournament games in 1 year.
And these two, they've reffed a few games together.
All I can say is over 1,000.
But now, this new blood.
All right.
John's grandson, Andrew. Here, just a toddler. Now, he's working games with Grandpa.
Here we go, Blue.
I feel like I've been getting more confident. Like, I used to maybe almost get embarrassed after a call, and now I just kind of just make the call and then move on.
Learning and being mentored by some of Minnesota's most experienced officials.
And then also, like on free throws, you got the that volleyball line over there.
I love it. I mean, I appreciate getting the opportunity of it, and I didn't know much about reffing at all, to be honest.
And Grandpa John, he couldn't be more proud. And like John, Chuck knows that people like Andrew.
I knew they got yelled at, so that's the only thing that going into it, I was like, well, I don't know if I want to have that happen, but.
Soon to graduate from high school are the future for officiating.
Because I'm slow compared to them now,
And I always say to them, said, hey, I remember when I used to be as good as you two, because that's what they are. They have just come on so strong, these young guys, and like it.
John and Chuck each have officiated over 3,400 games. Think of that.
Yeah, time is, as you get older, it's kind of like a roll of toilet paper. It just goes a little faster.
But they still get up and down that court just fine. Andrew has a little edge.
Just a touch faster, yeah, right. You'll see that tonight.
It's not too bad. I mean, I don't think he really slowed down.
That's just a good time. It's a good time for me, yet, even at my age, thinking that, what can I do right now that's more fun in the wintertime than go and referee basketball games?
With Minnesota tournaments ahead, these three will be busy. Small towns in Minnesota need them. For one of the best signs of spring.
Good game.
I was adjusting my position on the couch and the cord came out of my thing back here and I didn't have time to get my jacket back on because naturally it happened right before we were supposed to be here.
Of course.
Also, it's really warm.
Yeah, it's a little toasty in
It's
here.
a little toasty in here indeed. But a great story on making sure that you do keep your family involved. Because they're right, it is difficult to find time sometimes. We're
Great
so
bonding.
busy
Yeah.
all the time. And social media and your devices and all this other business, man. Really hard to find time. So make sure you find some time. With this nicer weather we've had, great opportunities to find time. Now today could be a little on the damp side, but we'll have plenty of opportunities continuing through March and April and through the summer. Look outside. No, not a look outside. Let's look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker again. You can see we've got those showers out there in our northwestern counties. We've got them right behind this boundary that's bringing us the rain chances and a wind shift, and that's about it. So again, showers stretching from Garnett back toward Burlington, Eureka, to Greenwood County out there, and that's about it so far. But as this continues, we will see additional showers. Not everybody will see rain, but at least along this boundary as it pushes through, that's where we'll have those opportunities to see some showers. Again, they'll be isolated to widely scattered out there. And then by, like I said, about 4 o'clock, they should be done. We'll just have those mostly cloudy skies following that. Then skies clear tonight, and that allows us to get pretty chilly, but plentiful sunshine, a bit breezy tomorrow, and temperatures similar to today, upper 50s, low 60s. We'll have another look at your forecast and the news you need to know right after this.
Well, here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Jennifer Maupin of Grove, Oklahoma is behind bars facing charges in southwest Missouri for a fatal DWI crash on Christmas Eve. Now, the fatal crash happened on Missouri 59 just south of Carthage, which took the life of a Sarcoxy man. Now, she was initially arrested and then released to seek medical care. Monday night, Maupin was located in Marionville, Missouri and booked into the Lawrence County Jail. McDonald County prosecutors amend charges against a former high school custodian, Roger Copeland, after a camera was found in the girls' locker room. Prosecutors amended charges to 5 counts of Class E felony invasion of privacy. If found guilty, Copeland could spend time in a state prison, and he would also have to register as a sex offender. And authorities arrest Charles Riley Defabaugh III of Independence, Kansas, in connection with the July 2024 shooting incident following a months-long sealed case. Now, according to court documents, Defabaugh allegedly fired a gun at a man with intent to kill, wounding the victim. Defabaugh now faces multiple charges, including attempted first-degree murder.
And we've got ourselves a nice day temperature-wise. More clouds, though, and some isolated showers, which we are already seeing this morning. North breeze about 5 to 10. Highs a little cooler, upper 50s, low 60s, but still above normal. Clouds continue through the evening. They'll clear out overnight, which will allow us to drop to seasonably chilly conditions back into the 30s. Will be breezy tomorrow and Friday. Sunshine, though, plentiful sunshine at that tomorrow and Friday. Upper 50s, low 60s tomorrow. Upper 60s, low 70s Friday. A little cooler this weekend. More shower chances as we head into the next work week.
Alrighty. Well, a fan of the Texas Tech game on Monday won the 94-foot putt challenge, and as a bonus, got to celebrate with Chiefs star quarterback Patrick Mahomes, who was in the house to watch his alma mater play ball.
The fan had a good time, and Mahomes got himself a February celebration this year after all. So definitely a win-win. The fan has no name other than the fan. That's interesting. Maybe that is his
Maybe he
name.
didn't want everyone to know.
But he's got his video of him. Anybody down there is going to know who he is.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, you never know.
You
never know.
don't.
You
Well,
never know.
thank you all so much for letting us put the good into your morning. We'll be back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.